I know this is supposed to be a photography channel, but hey, with digital cameras you have to deal with computers one way or another. And I'm no computer geek, I just want to have a machine that's gonna do the job smoothly for me, that's it. So normally I wouldn't care much about gigabytes, gigahertz and gigabits or how many nanometers is the chip and other shit. But lately, my previous Mac started to give up on day-to-day things more and more often, so in the light of the new Apple Silicon processor, the decision was made to change to a new Mac. I got an almost base model of Mac Studio, so stick around for the first impressions of it coming from a photographer. And if you're not really a technical guy like me, maybe this video will help you to make up your own mind about which Mac to get next. Well, hello there, it's Aperture Value back with another episode. I didn't post any videos or photos recently just because I was busy replacing my old Mac with an all-new Mac Studio, which was released back in March. My previous computer was a late 2014 27-inch iMac with a great 5K Retina display and a 2GB dedicated graphics card. That's all I really cared about. Along the way, RAM was upgraded first to 16 and then to 24 gigs, but that couldn't take the age out of it. After over 4 years of owning an already used machine, things started to get slow and choppy in the photo and video departments. It could still handle the basic Photoshop and 4K video editing for this channel, but the waiting times and more frequent crashes started to get on my nerves. Not to say that every now and then you need to do something more than basic work. And after M1 chip came out, I decided to wait a bit and upgrade to something newer. It is a great tip, by the way, not to get something radically new right away, especially talking computer. After most hiccups and compatibility issues were resolved and M1 Pro with M1 Max were introduced, I patiently started to wait for the desktop version of it. If you get MacBooks, besides raw performance, you're also paying for a state-of-the-art screen, powerful battery, specially developed keyboard, touchpad, speakers, cooling system, and all in a lightweight, compact form factor. Personally, I never had a chance to take advantage of the portable nature of laptops. In my early years, laptop would sit on a desk at home anyway, so for me, desktop is the way to go. 24-inch iMac seemed okay for me and I was almost ready to get it, but then Mac Studio was unveiled and there was no doubt it is the one to buy. I already have peripherals like a speaker, keyboard, touchpad and mouse. With Mac Studio you get just the computer and the power cord, that's it. And paying just for that is fine with me since I know I'm spending money solely for the performance. It also warms my heart that I didn't spend a single dollar on the Pro label in Apple's naming, which is unbelievable. I got the base model, only upgrading the internal SSD to 1TB. For the same money you can get an already used base M1 Pro MacBook or a fully loaded M2 MacBook Air when it finally arrives to stores. But as a photographer, I had few doubts. First of all, yes, with Mac Studio you need to get a monitor, but even if I get a laptop, I would probably have to buy it anyway since I cannot imagine using 14 or 16-inch laptop screen for editing full-time. I'm surely not going for the Mac Studio display because honestly it's a years-old screen with iPhone guts in it for the price of computer. I got a very nice 3:2 ratio 28-inch 4K monitor from Huawei, and if you want a separate video about it, let me know in the comments down below. Secondly, everyone was so happy about the SD card slot in the new MacBook Pro, me included, but they don't talk much about that it is only a UHS 1 slot. Again, if I get a laptop, I'll probably still get a separate UHS 2 card reader so I can smoothly work of it and transfer files faster. On contrary, Mac Studio already has a UHS 2 card built in. Thirdly, Mac Studio's cooling system is better than any of those in MacBooks, and even if you have equally spec'd machines, Mac Studio will win solely because of that. And lastly, although new MacBooks sport better ports, Mac Studio's I/O is just unbeatable. I mean, I still use the older USB ports a lot daily, so having that included saves me from getting another adapter or dongle. Dingle dongle. So that's a photographer's perspective on Mac Studio. Talking about the guts, M1 Max comes as a base pack for Mac Studio, and I honestly feel like I would be fine with M1 Pro as well. M1 Ultra seems like overkill and incremental performance improvement doesn't correspond to a much higher price. M1 would also be fine with me actually, but my main concern was the lack of GPU cores. The new M2 MacBook Air seems to solve that by increasing the number of GPU cores to 10, but I decided it's not worth the wait just because it's a laptop. I know there are many of you that want to get a laptop just for the sake of it, but I encourage you to think twice. You watch the promo videos, people in the movies, etc., and we automatically imagine ourselves with a sleek laptop in a coffee shop or at work. However, try to think over your personal computer workflow objectively. If most of the work actually happens at the same place, at home for instance, there's no critical need to overpay for a laptop. The same price desktop will get you a more powerful performance with better I/O, and times when desktops were overwhelmingly big and bulky are in the past. Compared with before, they won't take that much more space than a laptop. So let's move on to my first impressions. Mac Studio is smaller and heavier than I imagined. Looks gorgeous of course, but it's kinda expected coming from Apple. The power cord is rubbery unlike fabric ones found in the other latest Macs, which is a downer but not critical. The rubber ring at the bottom, on the contrary, is not quite rubber, more like plastic. So the unit will slip if you want to connect something with just one hand. Having a couple of USB-C ports and an SD card reader in front rather than back is nothing short of awesome. Really handy. That SD card reader on the back of my old iMac was a pain in the ass sometimes. One curiously strange aspect of Mac Studio is the layout design. It seems to fit a left-handed person better. The front ports and the power button on the back are on the left side, and while front ports aren't that big of a deal, the power button is more tricky because it is a bit awkward to read and press power with your right hand. Yes, iMacs also had the power button on the left, but it was easier to reach and it was the only thing on that side. Plus, it was concave, so you could find it by touch with no problem. But Mac Studio was designed after Mac Mini, and strangely, Mac Minis had their button on the right-hand side, which is more convenient. Here, it is on the left and the button isn't concave, so Mac Studio requires to have some unobstructed space around it on your desk. Just keep that in mind. As for performance, I've done a couple of edits on it already and surely it ran smooth everything you throw at it. As for the video, this episode will be the first one I'll edit on the new computer, so we'll see. To be honest, specs are nothing really to check, it's surely fast and powerful, so hopefully it's future-proof and I won't need to dig into all the benchmarks and specs for another 4 or 5 years. And that is it for today. If you want some feedback on how this Mac works for me as a photographer's and YouTuber's workstation, as well as just a day-to-day computer, feel free to ask me anything in the comments down below. I'll be coming back frequently to this video to answer all the questions. See ya!